In his infinite wisdom and boundless love, God created the heavens and the earth, filling it with a tapestry of life. When we gaze upon the world around us, we see reflections of his artistry, his meticulous care in crafting every detail. The beauty we perceive is not mere chance, but a testament to his divine hand at work. God saw that his creation was good, a symphony of life and wonder. In this grand design, he fashioned every plant and animal, each unique and purposeful. Then, from the very dust of the earth, he sculpted the first man, Adam, breathing into him the breath of life. Loneliness was not part of God's plan, so he cast Adam into a deep sleep, and from his rib he created Eve, a companion, a partner, a wife. In creating both man and woman, God gifted them with echoes of his own attributes, the capacity for love, for relationship, and for purposeful work. Together, they lived in joyful harmony in the Garden of Eden, a paradise prepared by God, free from suffering and death. One simple rule was given: they could freely enjoy the fruits of the garden, save for one tree. To partake of its fruit would bring death. But a serpent, a guise of Satan, slithered into their paradise, tempting Eve with deceit. She ate of the forbidden fruit and shared it with Adam. In choosing to believe the serpent's lies over God's truth, they were immediately separated from God's presence. God, in his holiness, cannot abide with sin. They were banished from Eden, burdened with shame and the consequences. The Bible unfolds this plan of salvation, a narrative of God's relentless pursuit to rescue humanity from the consequences of their choices and bring them back into a loving relationship with him. A key part of this plan was revealed to Abraham, a man of unwavering faith and obedience. God promised to bless him, and through him bless all the nations of the earth. He promised him countless descendants, as numerous as the stars in the sky and the grains of sand on the seashore. Abraham's faith was tested when God asked him to offer his beloved son, Isaac, as a sacrifice. Knowing that God's promises of descendants rested on Isaac, Abraham still chose to trust and obey. Just as Abraham prepared to offer his son, God intervened, providing a ram caught in the nearby thicket. He stopped Abraham, declaring, "Now I know that you fear God, because you have not withheld from me your son, your only son." In providing the ram as a substitute sacrifice, God revealed a glimpse of his ultimate plan for humanity. Through the ages, prophets foretold of a coming Messiah, an innocent sacrifice who would take the place of humankind, bearing their sin and shame. Through this great sacrifice, God would open the way for all who believe to live in relationship with him, forever in his kingdom. These prophets spoke of the Messiah, foretelling his arrival and the events that would mark his life. They prophesied that God himself would declare, "This is my son, whom I love." They said a virgin would conceive and give birth to a son, and he would be called Emmanuel, meaning God with us. They foretold the Messiah would humbly enter Jerusalem, riding on a donkey, hailed as the King of the Jews. They knew he would be betrayed by a close friend, These prophets also declared that the Messiah would offer his life, but God would raise him to life on the third day. Daniel envisioned the Messiah as the Son of Man, who would come on the clouds of heaven, presented before God, and given everlasting dominion over all peoples and nations. Over 2,000 years ago, a man walked this earth whose name was Jesus. The life of Jesus fulfilled the prophecies written about the Messiah. He was the one. This is the story of who Jesus is and some of the things he said and did as recorded in the Bible. In this story, an actor portrays Jesus. No one can perfectly capture who he is, but this story is shared so that people might know and believe in Jesus' life and receive the blessings God has promised. Most excellent Theophilus, I have undertaken to write an orderly account of the things that have been fulfilled among us, just as they were handed down to us by those who from the first were eyewitnesses and servants of the word, so that you may know the certainty of the things you have been taught. In the reign of Emperor Augustus, Herod was king of Judea. God sent the angel Gabriel to visit